Hi everyone, it is Robin here. This is my second YouTube video. Very exciting stuff for me anyhow. Um, I'm not I I don't know really too much about YouTube or computers or internet vlogging and things of that nature. You'd think I'm like a 80-year-old lady. I'm just like, oh, that darn YouTube. Don't know, don't really get it. But I'm doing my best, and that's all you can ask, right? So anyhow, actually part of the reason why I ended up trying to make a channel or starting a channel was because I was doing this thing where it's for 30 days, you try something new every day. And you have to kind of like actually say, oh, I'm going to do this new and do it. You can at the end of the day just be like, oh well, I did that new and that new. It's like it has to be like planned and executed. So yeah, so that was one of my new things for the day. And there's other things like I've done, oh, I painted a picture today, which is different from most days, or I walked somewhere I've never walked before. Or instead of making the same juice I made a completely different juice that I've never made before. So that's kind of a fun little thing you can do. And your life kind of completely changes over the course of the month because a lot of the things I do for the day, it's like I start almost like making a habit of them. Like now I paint all the time, whereas I never in the past before that one day when I painted. So, or even this one day I wrote an entry in a journal, which I haven't done in like a couple years. And now it's like quite consistent. I'm like, oh, well, that was kind of fun. So it's pretty neat how you see your life go in a pretty different direction after a month. But that's not exactly what my video was going to be about. It was going to be about your mindset about weight loss and health, your body, and how that is such a key factor to succeeding on a raw till 4 lifestyle or any lifestyle for that matter. Um, and like happiness, I suppose. Because in the past I was not focused on health whatsoever. It was more like as quickly I could lose weight as possible. You know when you have a date in your head like, oh, this Saturday I want to look like this. And so you're like, oh well, well, this is my own mind what it was like. I'd be like, well, I'll fast this week and then by the weekend I'll look this way. And then that would never happen, and then I'd feel guilty about not doing a fast. I used to do a lot of like intermittent fasting, which might work short term, but especially like with my eating disordered past, it's not a healthy thing for me to do. And I was constantly looking to the future, like short term future, and being like, oh, I want to be like 10 pounds lighter by Saturday, which is crazy because it's just like you're never living in the present moment. Like I was never living in the present. I was always thinking about this one date that I had to look a certain way for, which is, yeah, it's just not a good way to live. And then before the fasting would start, I'd always like, binge before because it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna have a week of fasting, so I better make this night good, you know. And even when I was doing like raw or raw till 4, it's like I would eat a bunch of salt and popcorn, and not that popcorn's bad, but I would cover it in like salt basically. So I guess it wasn't technically like how raw till 4 should be, but it was just like a vegan shitty diet. And I'd eat a bunch of crappy stuff the night before and then be like, oh, I'm gonna do a water fast and then a juice fast the next day, and then I'll really reset everything. But it's like, it's like I would set myself up to be binge prone, and then of course I would be. So, or I would engage in those actions. So It was definitely like changing my mindset into like short-term weight loss into like long-term health. So anytime I like something will pop into my head where I'm like, "Oh, I have to lose weight quick." I'm like, "Wait a second. Like do you do you want short-term weight loss, or do you want to be healthy and happy in a year or two from now and work every day as hard as you can to get there and enjoy every day too, because I'm not, suffering and being like for a week fasting and then like warding off a binge and then feeling guilty about it. It's like every day I wake up and enjoy my food. I live one day at a time. You get to try a whole bunch of fun recipes on Raw4. I love to cook, so I still get to cook. And I'll have quite a few raw days here and there when I just feel like I want to be a bit lighter or I have to cleanse a bit, but I still eat like 2,500 calories. And you have enough energy to exercise. So it's so great because I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get to my ideal body and my ideal weight and health. And yeah, it might take a year or two or three, but I'm going to enjoy every day so much. And it's such a relief to think like that and to have reprogrammed my thoughts. And it took a while. And even now, sometimes like those thoughts will swoop in. Like there'll be like some sort of big party I'm supposed to go to, and I'll think to myself, oh no, like I have to look a certain way by the time I go to this party. And then I stop myself and I'm like, really? What, like, why? And what's wrong with exactly how you look now? And also, why are you even thinking about this? If you, like, why are you spending all of this mind power focusing on what this meat suit looks like that your soul's encased in? And I'm not saying the body isn't worth anything. I'm just saying it's like we're so obsessed with like how this like suit of meat which houses our soul appears, that it takes away from enjoying a moment, which is exactly why our souls are in the meat suit. It's just like I don't know how many times it's like I didn't go to the beach because I didn't like my body, or I didn't go out to a concert because I didn't look good that day. And I would think to myself, "Oh, I'll go in the future after I've lost some weight or after I do this fast, and then boys will like me and everything's going to be okay." And it's insanity is what it is. It's these thought patterns that get so out of control, and it's a mix of, movies you've seen, stuff that happened in high school and elementary school, and just Western society stuff that makes you think that all of this stuff is so important when actually the opposite of true is true. And it's just once you become aware of your thoughts and how actually insane they are, you go a little bit crazy at first too, because you're like, oh my God, and you're watching how crazy you've been over the last like you just it's a new awareness about your thoughts, and it's kind of scary at first, and then once you're able to control them, or be a witness to your thought as opposed to becoming consumed with them and like they are you, um once you start witnessing them, it's like you can just let them go, and you're like, oh, the thought can come in, but it's not me anymore, so yeah, changing your mind is so important. Plus, your thoughts create your outer world. So, you can try and do all these things in the outside world, but if you don't change your thoughts about it and your mind, then you'll keep running around in circles. It's like I always thought like my weight or my body was the problem, but it was my mind was the problem. So I needed some serious serious mind reprogramming. And it's a long journey, but it's almost like if you want it, or if you I just basically decided, I, asked a higher power, and I was just like, I need another way to live and to think and to be. And thing as soon as you ask, things will start aligning. Like a book will show up that will help you how to train your mind, or you'll find a freely who will change your whole life. And it's like if you really seek healing and health, and you truly want to start loving yourself, all of the tools will come and all of the teachers will come. So really, whatever you desire, whether it be health, love, happiness, prosperity, as soon as you desire it and you actually put it out there, and you just kind of and you spend every day loving yourself, thinking positive thoughts about yourself and others, because we are all one being. So if you're going around judging others, it's basically like you're judging yourself. Your subconscious mind looks at it as though you're judging yourself. So there's really no sense in running around judging what other people are doing or how they're acting, and because it's a direct judgment upon yourself. So that has given me a lot of peace too, because it felt like I was not out, like I wouldn't be angry out loud at people or get upset with people, but in my own mind, I found in the past, when I was depressed and sad and had an eating disorder, I was very judgmental and angry with those around me, and had a lot of like forgiveness lessons I had to deal with, like even from your past, harboring like um old thoughts of hate and revenge against people, or kind of like woe is me type of things. They don't hurt anyone except for yourself. So letting those go, forgiving and loving yourself, and completely changing your mindset about, how the world works, how weight loss works, um, just about thoughts about yourself. It's the most important part of your weight loss journey. It is about the food, but it's mostly about your mind. And Raw Teal 4 and raw food is such a great tool, but you really do have to change your mind about about everything. So yeah, that felt I may have rambled there. My apologies. But oh, sorry, a long video. But anyhow, I hope this helps someone in any way. And great, I will try and do a food vlog this week. But I wish you all well, and thanks for listening. Bye for now.